See the gymnast on there? We welcome you back to the Ben Davis Sports Talk Show, and we have a plethora of gymnastics talent all around us here this morning, and we do welcome you back here to the Ben Davis Sports Talk Show. Well, in this segment, we promised you some interviews with the Lady Bear in Gymnastics program at DeKalb High School, and Misty Peppercorn is with us. And how are you doing this morning?
Just fine.
And you've got all the troops in here, and they appear to be very happy.
Yeah.
They really like the gymnastics program, without a doubt.
Wait for about a half hour until they're practicing.
Oh, does practice go right after the Sports Talk Show?
Usually we practice 4 hours on Saturday, 8 to 12.
8 to 12.
Yes.
And so you haven't practiced yet today?
No.
Oh, I see. So the
They
4
don't
hours.
want to get their hair messed up.
Is that what? So the 4 hours will start as soon as the show's over?
No, we're just going till 12 today.
Oh, so if we keep the show going here for a while, you guys
if
get
you
out
keep
of
us
some
on until
practice?
12.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a pretty good deal. I could be bought off here. You know, Ben Davis, he won't complain. Well, you guys are off to a good start this year. Congratulations.
4-0, and the team's very strong this year. We have a couple freshmen, Stacy and Jessica and Robin, that are really helping the team out this year. Miranda, her attitude's really helping. Tabitha, motivational-wise, is helping. Caro, we always get a kick out of Caro because she is just a fun person, and Maria's really confident this year, trying new tricks. And then Jill is also a benefit to the team.
And when you can keep her out of the Garrett Gymnasium.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
kind of hard to do that.
Well, she has a friend over there.
Yeah.
We're speaking of Jill Brink. Let her have the microphone there. Have you seen any basketball games this winter over at Garrett?
Yeah, I went last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
You know that DeKalb played at Columbia City
Yeah,
last. Oh,
I
okay,
know.
but it was a little closer to
Yeah.
go over to Garrett. How'd that game go?
Pretty good. Josh had 15 points.
And of course, see, he's on a first name basis. You know, Josh and Jill.
Vanderbush.
Yes, DeKalb County couple here. But did he play pretty well?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, has he been coming to your gymnastics meet?
Yeah, he came to the one on Wednesday.
And did he do, you know, cheer and so forth?
Yeah.
And help you out?
Yeah.
You had a real good performance, didn't
Yeah.
you? All right. So, Coach, you got quite a package here, and everybody contributes each in their own way.
Yeah.
What about your gymnastics background? Can you tell us about that?
I was a 4-year varsity all-around gymnast at Logansport, Indiana. I went to regional, and then I've been a gymnast since I was 4
Oh,
in
wow.
USGF.
So gymnastics has been part of your life for a long time.
Yeah.
And you had the opportunity to take over the head job at DeKalb, and you went right after it.
Yeah.
How about the talent here in Northeast Indiana right now?
Right now we're doing really good, but we go against Homestead this week, and that'll show where we need to be working at, because their level is usually a little bit higher than ours, but this year I think we're going to be good competition for them.
You're right up there with. Yeah, we'll show the upcoming schedule here in just a minute. Let's take a look at the meet that you had earlier this week. That was Wednesday against Northrop. You won that one rather handily. And we've got a graphic here with some numbers to indicate some of the strengths of that particular match. You won at 97.22, I guess, and Northrop 84.9 thereabouts with the decimal points. What we try to do just on our screen to list the top 2 performances in each of the different categories. And Stacy Spornauer and Jessica Schumann evidently did real good in the all-around.
Yeah. They both did really good. Their points are really starting to get up there. They're hitting about 31, 32, and I think they could probably be hitting about a 33.
Okay, so kind of a goal for them. And
Yeah.
this is Stacy right here to my immediate left. And
Yep.
if Jill will let you have a microphone, yeah. How about that performance there overall? Uneven bars, I see you scored an 8.9. Was that a pretty good meet for you?
Yeah, it was one of my better ones.
And as you look at the different performances you do on the different items of apparatus, what's your best event?
Bars.
You really like the bars, so you were happy with that 8.9?
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of difference between 8.9 and all the way up to perfect score 10, but
Wednesday she tied the school record.
Yeah.
right with 8.9. I read about that. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Goal-wise, what are you looking at, do you think? How much higher can that go? I know it gets tough when you get up to those
Yeah.
high numbers.
I don't know. I'm trying hard. Homestead's coming up, and I want to beat them, but we're going to have to practice hard.
As soon as the show's over.
Yeah.
Right. Realistically, Coach, between now and the end of the season, how high can that 8.9 go up in bars for her, you think?
she's got a lot of difficulty. I think she just needs to get her form tighter. I think she could hit about a 9.5 if her form was tight and she didn't drag her feet.
Dragging your feet, huh?
On the mat, I think she could hit a 9.5 because her difficulty's there.
And you also got second on the floor on Wednesday.
Yeah.
What did you think of your routine there?
It was better. I think I need to work on my tumbling, make it harder.
And try not to drag the feet.
Yeah.
That'll slow down a tumbling pass, won't it?
Yeah.
Let's talk briefly about your routine on the floor. What are some of the component parts that go into it? For the people out there, we want to make this an educational show, so when they come to the next gymnastics meet, they'll have an idea.
I don't know. Dance is really important. It has to be tight. Your tumbling has to be strong. Keep your toes pointed.
Okay, let's pass the microphone over to Jill again, and let's talk floor exercise with you. I believe you finished first on Wednesday?
Yeah, floor is my favorite, but I need to get harder tumbling too. Maybe put some twists in. But it's just important to have all your high superior moves. If you don't get one, you want to have another one in just in case, so you don't get counted off and your score is lower.
And so you want to increase the difficulty in your overall routine on the floor. As far as on the floor, what is your strength, you think?
Probably my tumbling.
You don't drag your feet?
No. It's strong, but it doesn't have the difficulty. So.
And your other events, you were second in the beam. How's your beam routine doing?
Well, my beam routine's okay. My matrix and aerial, I'm scared of beam, but it's still one of my stronger events, and Misty's always on me to do my aerial in practice, so I don't know.
Well, Coach, your many years, and as we see there, Jill, 7.75 on beam, your many years with gymnastics, how do you help someone through the challenge of the height on the beam?
I don't know. I guess just being mean, just yelling at him.
Just being mean.
Because Jill, I can just give her a look and she gets up there and does it because that mine works.
Is that right?
Yeah. So, and then I try to just say it's not that big of a deal. Because once you pull a trick once, you run it pretty much or over the fear. Like Jess the other night pulled her back tech on beam and landed it perfect, and she hadn't pulled it yet by herself. And so it's just once you get the initial first one done, then you're okay for the rest of the time.
So it's the glare from the coach that gets the job done.
Definitely.
It gives you that extra encouragement.
Yep.
And now, does your beam routine improve when this friend from Garrett comes and watches you play?
Yeah, actually it did.
Okay. Now, does he have a copy of your schedule, so he'll be at some of the next ones?
Yeah, he's coming Thursday.
Okay. Well, we expect that beam routine to be even better.
Yep.
All right, Jill, if we can pass the microphone back to Jessica, right?
Yep.
Schumann. How you doing this morning?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing okay. You looking forward to practice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about your beam routine. You got first the other night.
Yep. Beam is one of my favorite events. I don't know. It was a good routine.
And did you start out as a youngster, where the beam was just a couple inches off the floor and try and work on some of your
yeah.
routine and so forth?
Yeah.
And when was the first year that you started with the beam?
When I started gymnastics when I was about 3 or 4.
So you started early as well.
Yeah.
And next Olympics for you, maybe?
No.
No, you don't
I
think so?
don't think so.
Did you watch the Olympics this past summer?
Yeah. Well, no.
Well, that was kind of a yes or no question. I didn't expect to get both.
I didn't watch. My friend taped them for me because I was gone, and I was where there was no TV. And so my friend taped it, and then I watched it.
And have you seen some of the gymnastics from the Olympics?
Yeah.
Okay. You got a favorite gymnast?
I like Amy Chow.
So you're going to model your career after her?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you say the beam is one of your favorites, and how about the bars?
Bars is fun.
You got a third
like
in
bars.
that? You've been doing bars for a lot of years as well?
Yeah, that's one of my stronger events. I like to do bars because it's fun to flip and fly on them.
You just kind of like to throw your body all around the air.
Yeah.
So you don't get any glares from the coach? You just go do your thing anyway?
I do, but it doesn't work.
It doesn't work on her.
Oh, really? You got these young people figured out pretty well. Are you kind of a year-round gymnast, or you do other sports?
I do gymnastics year-round, and then I have other sports
On the
that
side?
I do. Yeah.
Gymnastics sounds like is number one for you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, continued success to you. I'm going to pass the microphone there to Tabitha Hall, and did pretty well on the bars the other day. Tell us about it.
That was probably my best routine I've done this season. Got second place. It was pretty clean. I kept my feet up. I didn't drag them. But I'm trying to put a harder skill in my bar routine so I can get some bonus points and hopefully get my score up to about where Stacy's is.
And what is your best score so far?
This season, the 8.55 was my best score.
8.55, and your goal maybe?
Maybe, I don't know. I hadn't thought about, okay, 9. That's what Missy told me.
Okay. Well, she's a hard
I do what Coach says.
Here. How about on the beam?
Well, beam's kind of hard for me because earlier in the season I sprained my ankle. So hitting on beam, it's like a lot of jumps and landings. It's kind of sore, so I don't know. It's coming together though. It's getting there.
People need to realize that when they do these jumps on the beam's only 4 inches wide.
Yeah.
And if your ankle's a little weak, that's not a whole lot of fun, is it?
No.
Well, keep up the good work, and hopefully that improvement keeps coming.
Thanks.
Okay, if you can pass the microphone there to Miranda Weinbrenner.
Yes.
How are you this morning?
Fine.
And you compete both at varsity and JV?
Yeah, I compete like off and on every week, pretty much.
And what's your favorite event?
My favorite event, I would say, is probably either vault or bars.
Okay, we haven't talked about the vault yet, and you get a chance to do 2 of those in a match,
Yeah.
right? Or in a meet. And how's that coming along for you?
Pretty good. I like it. I'm working some harder tricks that I can hopefully get.
And what's your best score on the vault so far?
7, 8, I think. Not very high. I hope to do better at meets so I can move back up to varsity and hold my spot.
What do you like especially about the vault? It certainly is
I just like how
unique.
you throw yourself through the air.
Throw yourself
Because
through.
it's quick.
Yeah.
It's quick, yeah. Yeah, floor X, you're out there for a little while, and
Yeah.
the bars and some of these other routines, but there you just go down the runway and do your vault, right?
Yep.
And go to the other end and do it again. Do you have a favorite gymnast from the Olympics?
I've always kind of liked Dominique Dawes.
Okay, well, so you did watch the Olympics. Yeah, they were on this summer, right? Okay, and your teammate there, not a little iffy there. Okay, Robin Zimmerman, let's send the microphone. How are you doing this morning?
Great.
And are you varsity all the way, or you
I'm
fluctuate?
Varsity in 2 events.
Varsity, and which 2 events are
Floor
those?
and vault.
Floor and vault, and which is your favorite?
Floor.
You like the floor?
Yeah.
Tell our viewing audience the different kinds of things that are in your routine on the floor.
Well, when I do floor, I just like to go out there and have fun. And it shows in my routine. And
Constant smile, right?
yeah. And tumbling's important to me because it's hard to keep up your stamina towards the end, and dance is also important.
And while you're doing all these passing runs and the tumbling skills and the balance skills and the strength skills, how long are you out there on the mat?
About 1:30.
And is that within a range, Coach?
Yeah, it has to be a certain time, and it has to be 1:30.
Has to be right at a
Or
minute
you'll
30?
get deducted if you have
Okay.
too much music or too less music.
And what music do you like?
Rockin' Robin.
Rockin' Robin. And you get out there and have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, good. We got another microphone there. Amy, you want to send that one back? We'll come around to you here in a minute. Maria McComb, how are you this morning?
Fine.
All fired up for practice?
Oh, yeah.
Now, is she really a rockin' Robin out there on the mat?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. So who's the happiest gymnast out of this whole group here?
Before or after practice?
Well, okay, let's say before practice, during practice, and after.
Miranda during, because she'll just go for stuff she doesn't really care. Not a whole lot bothers Miranda. Tabitha's pretty happy until I tell her, Jill pull the aerial. Jill, not happy. And then when I start making Jess and Stacy do vault, then they're not happy. And after practice, I don't think anyone's happy.
It sounds like she just kind of comes to practice with a whip. Yeah?
But they're doing good.
Yeah, evidently, yeah. Undefeated so far. What's your favorite event?
Oh, I like beam, but it doesn't work for me too well.
Beam's a real challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
You really like it until you got to get up on the one that's up here instead of the
Yeah.
one that you practice on down on the floor.
Yeah.
And then when the coach gives you that glare and says do all these flips and things while you're up on this piece of wood, you know.
Yeah.
Challenging, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, what's your second best event?
Oh,
Don't have one yet.
no.
Okay, well, you just spend the 4-hour practice
She's
just
doing
on the
it
beam.
Floor. She's doing
On the
it
floor.
floor.
I'm working on it.
You're working
It's
on it.
coming.
it's coming. It'll be there.
But you're a beamer right now,
Yeah.
constantly beaming.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk to Carol Uhlemann, who is from Germany, right?
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing gymnastics?
I did gymnastics in Germany for 4 years, but we just had 2 times practice in a week, so we didn't work so hard than here. But I'm getting better.
Carol is from the north and over to the eastern part of Germany, and you were a youngster growing up in a communist country before the Berlin Wall came down in 1989.
Yeah.
Tell us how sports were in a communist country.
Well, we had sports, and we just didn't have sports in school. We had like clubs in cities, and we had competition, and we got prizes for when we like first place, second place, and third place. And it's close to here, so it's not so much different.
How was it that the communist countries always did so well in the Olympics? Did they put a lot of money and coaching into their athletes?
I don't know that,
Yeah.
but probably I think so. Yeah.
And how did life change? Just one last cultural question here. How did life change when the Berlin Wall came down and the fall of communism in Europe?
Well, it changed in different things. Like with work, it gets sometimes better. People, they don't get a work, but in lifestyle, like houses and stuff like that, and food, and so it's getting better. I mean, you can buy more things and more healthy things and stuff like that.
Well, glad to see it was a positive for you. How's your gymnastics coming along?
Well, yeah, it's getting better. I don't know what to say.
Do you have a favorite event?
Yeah, so far I like beam. I mean, before I came I didn't really like it, but since I'm getting better on beam, I really like it. And I also like vault, but my scores, they are not so high, but I work on it.
But you're working on it, okay.
Yeah.
And I practice today just till noon.
Yeah.
Okay, it's right here. She said it on national TV. Amy Weinbrenner is assistant coach, and Amy, we get ready to close out here real quick. Are there certain areas that you help out in particular? I mean, are you a specialist in certain areas, or are you pretty well helping all 4 pieces of apparatus?
Both of the coaches, we just kind of work with the girls where they need it. If they, like if Jill would need spot on beam, or Carol on floor, just kind of where they need it and when they need it.
And you're a former gymnast at DeKalb?
Yes, that's correct.
And what year did you graduate?
In '89.
So gymnastics is right. Well, not really. Gymnastics is still very prevalent for you, and
It's
you're able
really
to help.
progressed since I was in high school. I see a lot more harder tricks on the team, and the area in general. It just keeps getting better and a lot more difficult.
Well, let's take a quick look at the upcoming schedule for the Barron gymnasts. Now that you know a lot about gymnastics, and if you haven't caught a meet yet, hopefully you can get to see one of these soon. Thursday will be a home one. Monday at Snyder, good competition there. Thursday, Homestead comes to town. And then on February the 3rd, the following week, at Carroll, and Elmhurst will be there as well at 6:30. On February the 6th, the Wawasee will be another home meet at 6:30. On Saturday, February the 8th at Lakeland, that'll be an invitational there starting at 11 with a number of teams. And then I skipped some areas I wanted to show you at the end of the season, some tournament competition there. The NHC will be at East Noble this year on March the 1st, starting at 10. And then sectional competition on March the 8th at 12 o'clock. So there's some upcoming activities in the next couple of weeks, and then of course they continue between February 8th and March the 1st. Well, Coach, sounds like you've got these young ladies pretty well whipped into shape. And so far, so good. I know you've got a challenging week coming up. We appreciate you bringing the troops on. You've got a couple more managers or so on with us here. You want to mention their names real quick?
Yeah. One of my managers is Allison Cox and Carrie Reidiger. Rediger. And they help me out a lot. They are there for me whenever I need anything for the girls.
Okay, and ladies, continued success. Good luck this week against Snyder and Homestead, and keep up the good work and have fun at practice, okay? With smiles all the way. That'll do it for the Ben Davis Sports Talk Show. For Jeremy Lloyd, our cameraman, and Brad Brown, who's our producer back at the control booth, I'm Greg Vick, and we'll talk to you next weekend. So long, everybody.